It was Christmas. I got Baby Yoda. I'm a fan. Yes, I know his name is Grogu, but everyone calls him Baby Yoda, so it's easy to just call him Baby Yoda. Everyone knows who the heck you're talking about. Hey there, friends. I wanted to do a quick end of the year wrap up since it's New Year's Eve. And these are the things that I was able to accomplish last year. May not seem like a lot, but to me it was. And if you are interested in following my journey, here's what I did. So last year I was able to contact a developmental editor and managed to get my manuscript into her and got it edited. That process alone took quite a while. It was a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. Hopefully I can get a faster turnaround now that I've established a rapport with the editor. But I initially contacted her in January of last year and didn't even get the manuscript into her schedule until June. And even then, it took her a month and a little bit of extra time there to get that done. So there was a 6-month lag time, I guess, between initially contacting and eventually even getting the manuscript edited. And that was just her round of edits. Then I had to do several more edits of my own. After that, or during that time frame, while I was waiting on her edits to come back, I was able to commission several pieces of artwork for my book. I got the cover title design created, as well as the covers for the next 2 books in the planned trilogy that I have. So I've at least got that overhead taken care of and gotten that placed out of the way. I also commissioned interior art for chapter headings that look really nice and are able to describe very briefly and succinctly who the characters are, as well as let you know which point of view the character is in the chapter that you are reading. So that makes it easier if you want to skip people, but I don't know why you would want to skip, because you're missing like half the story. After I got back my edits from the editor, I was able to do multiple edit attempts on my own and get that taken care of until I got it to a point where I felt it was reasonably polished. My editor was unavailable to do any subsequent look-throughs or reviews of that, so I don't know how that translates into how well it appears to be edited, though I'm reasonably sure that my own editing skills are pretty strong, so I'm not super concerned about how bad it looks. It was more of I just wanted to get a second look from her to see if it would, or if it did match up to the recommendations that she made, or if there was even more I needed to add. So I don't know. Hopefully I was able to accomplish what she was asking me to do. It was mostly some of the world building stuff, which I think I incorporated well enough by expanding on the things that she pointed out in the manuscript, as well as I changed all of my epigraphs, the little paragraphs at the beginning of each of my chapter. I pulled everything from from book 2 over to book 1, because I felt that my writing had improved and I was better creating the world building with those epigraphs, and it was an easy substitution, and it was also a decent parallel to what was going on with my main characters in the first book anyway. So hopefully that provides a lot more background and helps out with the world building without being overly preachy with anything longer than a paragraph at the beginning of each chapter. And it's not designed specifically to be like, oh, in the year 2032 these things happen. No, it's nothing like that. It's just little story snippets of a side story, or like 3 side stories going on simultaneously at different points in the world's history that kind of describe in some way, shape, or form what's happening to the main characters. By the end of November, actually I'll just back that up, I was sick for off and on the various parts of August, September, and October, between having COVID in August, totally draining my system. I had no ability to think, honestly. Maybe a cop-out, maybe dad sickness, I don't know. We call it whatever you want to. I was lazy, didn't get anything done. Then I was basically crippled from September through October. Barely had any time to rebound. I got a couple of edits in, and then I was stuck with chronic migraines, which kept me from literally doing anything for another month and a half before whatever sparked that flare-up died down. But once that finished up, I hit everything strong and hard through November and went through the story at least 4 times with various rounds of edits. The bulk edits I had already done, where I it was mostly the copy line editing type stuff, changing punctuation here and there where my editor had made recommendations or changes. They were really easy changes. And then November was the one where I had to hit all the deeper cuts and strip the story back down and rebuild it back up. So I lost several thousand words from those edits, built it back up to actually larger than my original manuscript had been. I went from 80,300 words down to 73,000, back up to 82,000 words, and the final edit is sitting somewhere just north of 80,000 words. So it's a very slim book, but I think there's a lot of meat to the story if you're able to read into the subtext or everything that's going on, or see the various patterns I've got laid out. I'd like to think that it's a pretty good freshman version of a book for a first-time author. It's as polished as I was going to get it. So I said, okay, push the publish button, started looking into how to upload it to Amazon. I was able to get that pushed out as an ebook, but I was still trying to contact my artists. Finally got the larger expanded paperback cover for my book. A little after I got it published as an ebook. That went live on December 7th, and that was pretty cool feeling. Haven't really made many sales, and I'm sure those were all friends and family anyway, because I know there were some people that were holding out, at least on YouTube, that have told me they were waiting for the paperback. So that will be going live tomorrow, and you can be able to purchase that then. I did get my preview copy, which I no longer have. I went back to my in-laws' place for Christmas, and my parents came out to visit us there as well, and of course I gifted that to my father because he was super excited and wanted to read it. So I don't even have my own copy of my book right now. That should be arriving too. I've already got an order for 10 copies, 10 author copies coming to me for my personal distribution to some friends at work that have shown interest and have paid into my GoFundMe to help me get this project of mine off the ground. The GoFundMe, I totally mentioned, or failed to mention that, didn't really get me much. I had a goal of $2,000 to help me pay for a lot of the costs. I had been saving some money off to the side from various quarterly bonuses at work, and that's really the only money I had to put into it. But that plus the GoFundMe was enough to set aside all of the funds that I needed to pay for all of the editing, all the all the cover art, interior art, the program Atticus that I use to do the formatting of the ebook and the paperback book. And I also was able to submit the book to the Library of Congress, as well as get a copyright certificate. Just got that the other day, certificate of registration. Not sure how well you can read that, but that's saying that I've got a copyright for my book. So I was kind of initially concerned about that because I had the alpha version of the book as I wrote it. I was uploading it to Royal Road. I've changed my process on that. Everything's going to just go to Ream and Patreon from here on out for the sequels. Book 2, what I do have written, is on my Ream. So for the people who have read my book or want to read my book and want to follow it up there, it is available on Ream right now. That will also come down as the second book nears completion. I haven't touched it in a year, so bear with me on that. I'm going to have to look at that with completely fresh eyes now, and I'm sure there's a bunch of rewrites to match what I've changed considerably in the first book. So that's something I'm looking down the barrel of right now. I've also registered my book with the Library of Congress. One of those 10 copies that I ordered is going to be going to them in order to fulfill my obligation to that. And that's about it, as far as I can tell. You may notice in the background over there, my wife managed to get me a copy of the cover made as a gigantic poster, I guess, which is kind of cool. I'm probably going to be doing something like that anyway as a shop sort of thing later on. So if people who want to have something cool like that can get that as their own thing, but it's not available yet. But it's on my plan of things to do. I kind of want to have some merchandise. something I've talked about in one of my earlier videos. But until the book takes off, there's really no point in getting merchandise until people start showing interest in the book, let alone anything cool like a poster or a t-shirt or anything like that. Those are the things I'm thinking of, even, is a poster, a t-shirt, and bookmarks. So if there's anything else, let me know, and I'll try to set that up too. Thanks for watching. My book, Night of Illumination, is available on Amazon Kindle, and depending on when you watch this, it will be available on paperback January 1st, 2025, and you can order it there. I have recently lowered the prices on both of those. It was $4.99 for the ebook, now it's $2.99, and my initial setup for the paperback was $14.99, and I've dropped that down to $11.99. I got to be able to compete with Harry Potter on the bookshelf at Target, so that was my real reasoning for it. So should be reasonably comparable to the price there, and the book size is pretty much the same as the first Harry Potter book. So it's a short read and should move pretty quickly. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.